I was going to make one point before we finish. Maybe I should do it on another one. But when you were saying about jasmine, I was like, I'm sure jasmine in aromatherapy it has like certain uses, and I just looked it up, and it is used in aromatherapy as an antidepressant. So that's why you find it so helpful when you're finding things difficult.
For me, it's even more is lime tree, which is Tilia Europeans, I think, but lime trees, which every now and then there'll be a street in London with 3 or 4, and they're massive trees, and the scent is absolutely fantastic.
I want your map of London, Miguel. But lime as well, citrus like lemon and basil in aromatherapy is really good for clearing the mind and getting a completely new perspective, refreshing.
I'm feeling another conversation topic. I feel it coming. Get an aromatherapist on.
I'm feeling a business idea of having these just sort of like very specific incense things for composers, of just like, if you need help with your cues, smell this.
In my case, that trilogy on that street in that sort of wheat, lime tree and oregano marinated chicken on a barbecue is absolutely
sounds like a night out.
I'm not telling anyone where that street is.
Market it to composers.
And I've been feeling a bit of anxiety over this, especially in the lockdown, of like, come on, like my whole marketing strategy before was like, be a normal human being and go out and meet people and physically connect with people. And that's how I've got all my work over the years. But actually I'm like, oh, have I got to be all over social media now? And I'm just like, so grates on me, that whole thing. I mean, we are going to have a session on social media actually very soon, because I think it is a very divisive thing, obviously, and but maybe there is a generational thing going on. I don't know what you guys think.
I wonder if it's generational, or rather that it's just what becomes the norm. Because in my experience, it's not like the composers who are all on social media are 25 and younger. It doesn't feel as clear cut as that. A lot of people social media in the 50s, 60s. It's not that you're sort of that. I just think it's more. All we were talking about, Benji, more was the sort of the expectation that social media creates and the sort of sense of how things are meant to be. And we were talking about, I thought was really interesting, about the change in the glamour of what we do. This has become a far more Instagram friendly profession in the last 15 years. I don't just mean because Instagram's been invented. I mean, it's sort of got more glam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
you have to portray everything as it being fabulous and you're super busy with super glamorous stuff and there's a need to feel that you're at least on the same level as whatever people are in your bracket. And I've been there. I've agonized over it. So it takes a lot of discipline to remove yourself from it and say it doesn't matter.
And look at yourself. Look at how your particular pot is and how that is, and because social media. I mean, you don't go on social media. You can. I like social media for fact people can talk about mental health increasingly. I think that's brilliant, and I see the value in people being able to go on and go, it was a privilege to score this brand new thing that's coming to Netflix. But there's no in the middle. There's nobody posts and goes, yeah, this morning I felt like I was a bit shit what I did yesterday. And today's all right, but I haven't got any really good work on at the moment. Nobody goes and posts that on social media, or at least if they do, I'm not following them.
This is a bit of a negative take on it, but it is interesting to think though, because when I was working at a label, increasingly more and more, they would only sign artists that already had a big social media following, and if they didn't, it was seen as a negative. It was seen as a reason not to sign them. And I wonder if that's going to become more and more prevalent in the media composer world, where we might get to a stage where you're only brought on a project if you've got a big social media following, because they see that as free marketing for the project. I mean, that's
maybe on massive projects. I suppose not on the bracket that I cohabitated. I don't think people care that much, but I see your point, and I think it's quite valid on maybe bigger, very big fish.
Yes, Emily. I mean, I think you're probably on the nail, and it fills me with some sort of dread, but not too much, hopefully. But I also think that it's all quite naive, or a lot of it's quite naive. The idea that social media following for a component of a thing equals the thing its success, because I think that's bollocks, to be honest. We used to have, back in the day, when I used to make records, there was a sort of gold rush for people who were in soap operas, because they go, it gets 12 million viewers if 1 in 10 buy the record. And invariably, no, with a few exceptions, which is why it kept on, with a few exceptions, people who are quite happy to watch a soap with somebody were not going to go down to Woolies and buy a record. The follow-on was not there. It was a kind of false trail, if you like. And I think it's the same thing. I think there's a false trail that so-and-so has X 100,000 followers, therefore everybody who follows them will be very interested in everything they're doing. Unless, I'd imagine, we all have people we follow that you just say, oh yeah, follow them. And they're not people that you, oh my God, what are they doing next? I must watch all of it. You know, it's just that you're vaguely interested in them, or somebody said hello and you thought, oh, I'll follow them back. And you don't have that.
Well, imagine if Trump decides to become a film composer, he'll get all the gigs.
Oh,